If you've ever walked past yourself and paused for a small breath, wondering, was that me? You're in kind company. Many of us have that quiet hallway moment when a faint, unfamiliar scent makes us second-guess our own freshness. You bathe, you tidy, you do things the way you always have, and still something feels a little off. You see, it is not your imagination, and you are certainly not alone. As we move through our 60s and beyond, our bodies begin to speak in softer ways. Skin gets more delicate, hormones settle into a new rhythm, and long-standing habits sometimes work against us without meaning to. Have you ever noticed that the topics we most need are the ones we talk about least? Knees, eyesight, sleep, that we'll share. But personal scent can feel tender. Here's the gentle truth. A handful of everyday choices in the bathroom can shape how fresh we feel all day. The better truth is that small, respectful changes can help more than any heavy spray. This is not about perfection or perfume, it is about care, air, and calm. Let me tell you about Eleanor. She keeps birthdays on a paper calendar and mints in her purse. One sunny afternoon, while tying a little shoe, she heard that innocent question only children ask, "Grandma, why do you smell like the attic?" It stung, of course. That night, Eleanor stood at her bathroom sink and chose curiosity over shame. What she learned is what I want to share with you. Simple, doable steps that honor a wise body and restore quiet confidence. First, a story about doing less, not more. Ruth believed in clean the way some believe in Sunday supper. As her skin grew drier, she turned to stronger soaps, especially in intimate areas, and added wipes, powders, and perfume. Yet she felt less comfortable. During a checkup, a kind clinician reminded her that those delicate areas are self-balancing. Overwashing and fragrance can upset a healthy rhythm and invite the very discomfort we're trying to prevent. Ruth pared back to lukewarm water on most days and a gentle, fragrance-free cleanser only when needed. Nothing inside. Within weeks, she felt like herself again. Sometimes the kindest care is the lightest touch. Helen, steady and practical, reused her bath towel all week because I only touch it when I'm clean. Many of us were taught the same, but bathrooms tend to stay humid, and a towel that never fully dries becomes a cozy spot for hidden moisture. Helen switched to a simple rotation. She hung towels wide, let the fan run while she brushed her teeth, and washed after every 2 or 3 uses. The musty trace she could not name quietly faded. It wasn't dramatic, just better. Often the answer is that ordinary. Dorothy kept up a polished look, soft curls, a neat blouse, a whisper of rosewater, yet overlooked her feet because no one's looking down there. Over time, shoes carried a sour note, and an itch showed up between the toes. A podiatrist reminded her that feet spend much of the day in warm, closed spaces. They need their own minute of care. Dorothy began washing between each toe with a soft cloth, drying thoroughly, gently buffing rough spots once a week, and using a light foot powder on warmer days. The difference was quiet but clear. No itch, no unwelcome scent, and a surprising lift in confidence. Have you ever noticed that a fresh room can feel cleaner than any spray? Marge learned about something called a toilet plume. Those tiny droplets that rise when we flush with the lid open. They can drift several feet and land on towels, combs, and toothbrushes. Once Marge started closing the lid, her bathroom smelled cleaner and felt safer. It became as automatic as turning off the lights. No new products, just a new habit. Evelyn loved her nighttime ritual, a mug of chamomile, her soft robe, a few pages of a good book, and then slipped into bed wearing the same underwear she had worn all day. "I haven't done anything strenuous," she'd say. "The thing is, a normal day leaves light moisture and natural oils on fabric. Keeping that close to the skin all night can invite irritation." Evelyn began changing into breathable cotton underwear at bedtime. On some nights, she slept without any, just a loose gown. She woke feeling fresher and slept a bit easier too. Such a small change, such a kind result. Joanne kept a spotless bathroom, shining sink, streak-free mirror, a little plant on the sill. Still, a faint sour note returned now and then. One day, while emptying the small trash bin, she noticed the lid felt damp inside. Wrapped tissues and cotton rounds release a hint of moisture even when hidden. Joanne started emptying the bin every couple of days and wiping it weekly with warm water and baking soda or a splash of vinegar. She tucked a tiny cotton ball with a drop of lavender at the bottom. The air turned light again. Linda's robe, old, soft, and perfect, had begun to hold a closet-like scent. She realized that hugging a robe around a damp body presses moisture deep into the fabric. Now she rotates 2 robes, laundering each weekly, and hangs them wide to dry, sometimes with a bit of sunshine. It still feels like a hug, only cleaner. Barbara shaved her underarms faithfully and thought that meant less odor. And still, something lingered. A clinician explained that shaving loosens old deodorant and dead skin, like stirring silt in a pond. Without a thorough rinse, that residue settles right back into freshly opened pores. Barbara added a simple step. After shaving, she rinsed carefully and wiped with a clean, soft washcloth, then let the skin breathe for a minute before applying any product. That small pause changed everything. Now, let's gather this wisdom into clear, usable steps, approaches you can tuck into an ordinary day. Step 1, choose gentle, then choose less. Our skin, especially in intimate places, has quiet wisdom. Lukewarm water and a mild, fragrance-free cleanser used sparingly are often all that is needed. If something stings, tingles, or boasts of being extra strong, your skin may be asking you to set it aside. Think of it as polishing silver, steady, light pressure, never a harsh scrub. Step 2, invite air and light. Freshness loves circulation. Hang towels wide, lift bath mats to dry, and give washcloths a little space between uses. Let the fan run while you brush. Crack a window when weather allows. If you can, set a robe or towel where it can catch a little sunshine. Air is the oldest helper we have. Step 3, keep close fabrics truly fresh. Underwear, socks, pajamas, and that favorite robe sit closest to the skin. Breathable fabrics help your own body do its work naturally. Change underwear at bedtime or sleep in a loose gown. Rotate robes and wash them weekly. When something clings to a scent, a day in open air can help. Step 4, tend the quiet corners. Close the lid before you flush. Empty the trash regularly and wipe it once a week. Replace toothbrushes on a regular rhythm. Rinse razors and underarms carefully after shaving. These details are like tending an herb pot by the kitchen door. Small, pleasant, and noticeable when skipped. Step 5, give your feet a fair minute. Wash between the toes, dry well, smooth rough spots gently once a week, and allow shoes a rest day so they can thoroughly air out. If your feet tend to stay damp, a light powder can help. Comfort rises from the ground up more than we think. Have you ever noticed that once you name a worry, the worry shrinks? Part of feeling fresh is trusting that what you're doing is enough. When we feel sure of our routine, we stop chasing quick fixes and return to the old-fashioned basics that have always worked. Water, air, light, cleanliness, and kindness. This is a rhythm, not a race. There is also a myth worth setting down respectfully. For years, many of us were taught that more fragrance equals more cleanliness. Sprays, powders, scented lotions. The truth is, scent often covers rather than solves, and some perfumes can irritate mature skin. You do not have to abandon the soap you love. Just notice how your skin responds. If redness or dryness shows up, it is not failure, it is feedback. Choosing unscented or lightly scented products and letting true freshness come from hygiene and airflow usually feels better in the long run. Another quiet myth says harsh equals effective. In fact, scrubbing hard strips, protective oils, and leaves skin vulnerable. Think of washing a favorite teacup inherited from a grandmother. You would never scour it with grit. You would wash it with warm water and a gentle touch. Your body deserves the same respect. If all this sounds like a lot, take a breath. You do not need to change everything at once. Begin with one small thing, close the lid, switch a towel, add a bedtime pair of cotton underwear, or give your robe the week off while another takes its place. See how your body responds. Add another step when you're ready. New comfort grows from the smallest places. I like to picture freshness the way morning light slips through the kitchen curtains. It is not loud, it does not try to impress. It simply falls across the floor and makes you feel at home. Feeling comfortable in your own skin is much the same. It asks for simple habits and a willingness to listen to what your body quietly tells you. Remember Eleanor, the one with the paper calendar and the brave heart? She started with 2 changes, closing the lid and washing her robe more often. A few weeks later, she added a towel rotation. She told me, half laughing, that she felt quietly brighter, the same way she does after sorting a drawer and finding the bottom again. That is the kind of result we are after. Not perfection, not magazine pictures, just everyday ease. If someone you love has ever made an innocent comment that lingered a little too long, let it be a nudge, not a wound. You get to choose what you carry forward. Choose comfort. Choose simple steps that make mornings lighter and evenings calmer. Choose to treat your body as a wise partner that has carried you across many seasons and deserves tenderness. Before we finish, let's fold everything into a handful of friendly reminders. Be kind to delicate skin, less soap, more respect. Invite air, hang things wide and give them time to dry. Keep close fabrics truly fresh. Underwear at bedtime, breathable choices by day, robes and towels washed on a steady rhythm. Tend the corners, the trash bin, the lid before the flush, the razor and the rinse. And give your feet the minute they have earned. Each gesture is small. Together, they create a gentle routine that supports you without fuss. Have you ever noticed that when your body feels cared for, your spirit stands up a little straighter? You greet the mirror with softer eyes. You feel more like yourself, the self who tells old stories on the porch, who keeps a secret stash of cookies for the grandkids, who still loves the smell of coffee in the morning air. You're not trying to be who you were years ago. You're honoring who you are now. If you've been nodding along, thinking of a towel you meant to wash or a robe that could use a day in the sun, consider this your friendly reminder. Try one idea today. See how it feels. Then add another when it suits you. With each simple choice, you'll build a space and a routine that whisper, "This is home. You're comfortable here." And if a part of you worries that you should have figured this out already, please set that down. Most of us were never taught these details. We learned by watching busy parents and making do. There is grace in learning at any age. In fact, it is one of the quiet joys of growing older. We trade hurry for wisdom and choose what truly serves us. I'll leave you with a picture I love. Imagine a clothesline on a gentle day, cotton sheets moving softly in the breeze. No rush, no heavy scent, just clean fabric and open air doing their quiet work. Your daily routine can feel like that clothesline, simple, steady, free of fuss. If you ever doubt it, step outside, fill your lungs, and come back to yourself. Your body knows the way. So here's to small kindnesses: the towel hung wide, the lid closed, the robe washed, the feet cared for, the gentle soap. Here's to listening closely and acting softly. And here's to you, dear friend, moving through this season with courage, humor, and grace. If something today made you feel seen or gave you a helpful nudge, hold on to it. Share it with a sister, a neighbor, or a friend who could use a quiet word of encouragement. We do better when we take care of one another. Thank you for spending this time with me. May your bathroom feel a little fresher, your routines a little lighter, and your days a touch easier. And when you pass yourself in the hallway tonight, I hope you pause for only a heartbeat, long enough to smile, and then keep walking, feeling at home in your own wise skin. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and share this video with your friends so they can learn something useful for their health too.